Oh yeah. Welcome to Buckeyes and Friends. Shuffle up and stay a while. Here we go.
Hello, Buckeye and friend. This is David D. Rod Robbins again. Here with my week 2 of the C Cup. Um, First of all, I want to apologize. I meant to record this game. Had everything set up, and I thought it was gonna be slick way to hit record right when I start playing, and we got playing in about turn 5 or 6. I realized I was doing all these overlays, but no recording, so it was really too late to kind of get this game recorded. So I will give you a brief recap of it for my memory. But yeah, here we are, week 2 of the C Cup. I was 0-1. I lost my first week to play Ezekiel and lost to PJ playing the new Invisible Woman, the Fraxer family one. So just to let you know, this will be the week 2 of the C Cup, and this will be the last week of the feature format 22, the enemy of my zombie enemy. Um, just a quick recap. You had to pick one of these team combos, and your MC and all cards in your deck and side pile had to have one of these team affiliation. They could also either have zombie or be zombie Ross in your deck. You can read over this, have questions, of course, reach out. But format we've been doing is the 22nd format, and for the winter 2024, they're gonna go to the end of March. Regional coming up in Oklahoma, I think is March 13th, 18th, sometime around that weekend. There'll be a regional. So let's get to the deck profile. So this week I went with Thing. I would pair it up with Ty. I do play Ty a bit here and there, so we have some familiarity with each other. So I didn't know what he would be on. I know he been doing a lot of Banshee, but I think this week I just decided I was gonna play Thing. This format is starting to wear on me a bit, so I just had this deck built, and this is what I was gonna go with. So let's recap the MC here. So we have Thing, this is the new one from the Fracture family. He got 2 team affiliation with a Fantastic Four and Pro Regs. So on level 1, no flight, no range, 3/4, 6 health. And his first power, we got People to Protect. You play any combat red, any turn, any combat red. If another character in Thing row is defending, remove it from the combat and move it to your back row. Then Thing becomes the defender. So I mean, it's a great power. People don't pay much attention to it, but when you do flip that red and cast them sleeping the first time, they start really paying attention to it. His level up conditions seem tough, but it's really easy. Do you see what you're doing? Whenever combat starts that do not include Thing, he gain 1 XP, and if all the characters in the combat are good, he gain 2 XP instead. So when I first start building Thing, I used to put a lot of good characters in, level by 2, maybe 3. But then I realized I don't have to really level fast, especially with this zombie format. So I did go with more zombie, but like I said, we'll get to more of that in the deck profile. But when he do level out, he do check out the country. So when he levels up, you remove him from the game with a counter. At the end of your next turn, he come back on your side. So when he come back, he's a 6/6. Still got the first. We got People to Protect power and 6 health still. And then he got, this is Clobbering Time in some other language, I don't know, but you pay either 2 greens, 2 earth, or green and earth, and you may say clobbering, it's Clobbering Time in any language, and you get 10 counters with. They're not really much counter hate in here, so I was hoping to get lucky, get them on there, and then hopefully not to get days if you do play Banshee, which he didn't. But like I said, we'll go over the deck list. I'll talk a little bit about the game, and I'll give the recap of the game. So starting with location, so because special location, as long as they had the team affiliation of somebody in your deck, you could use a special location for them. So with Thing, I was able to use both of his wows. I got the green for him and also for Terax, and then I had the training ground in here also for him. Just to make sure I was able to land location, wasn't have to use my characters to resource ideally. So that's why I went with 16 location in this deck. A little on the high end, I would think, but I mean, it's still a good spot to be if you can. support characters. So I only ran 6 1 drop. I ran Stiltman and Carnage. If you've been under a rock, Stiltman is a real thing. Especially with the zombie plot twist. No brains, no problem. They give him +4/+4. But the added bonus is if even one of the family members, you can always play Fantastic Four to give him. You could give him +4 more attack, and he could also, putting the virus on the MC turn one, it's tough to come back from. So I ended up going with 2 Carnages as my one drop. Just because he got 2 health, so I could get 2 XP off of him. I could swing. He'll be in the combat. I could get the XP along my MC is faced up. My 2 drop, I went with 9 of them. So 2 Zombie Angels, 2 Ant-Man Manotype, and Herbie. Herbie obviously is just a really good support character. Ant-Man, he could either shrink or he could invent. So people try to sometimes usually avoid Ant-Man because the inventions can be pretty deadly. If you get a negative zone, unstable molecule, any of the fantastic. So we could only have fantastic plot twists in this deck. So that's why Gax is not in here, a weapon or machine or nothing. But we still had all the fantastic ones, and I think that's my only side pal for this deck. And then Zombie Angel, like I said, by himself he's not that good, but if you could team attack him, and he also a fight blocker, and he had 2 else, so again he helped me with my level up condition. At least I'll get two experience out of him, and that same with Herbie. So my 3 drop, I went with 9 of them. So 3 Zombie Hawkeye, 3 Pace Pop P, three Ganymede. So Zombie Hawkeye part of the zombie package. That 1, 2, 3 I think is a great zombie package. If you're gonna run them, it's best to run all 3 of them. Really don't see many people running past that. Pace Pop Pete. So again, in the zombie format, if you're able to get the virus on somebody, and so they have to attack each turn. So what Pace Pop Pete do if they don't have a gun, he'll shoot them, stick them in place, so then they can't attack next turn, so they'll take a wound. And if they, and then most likely they'll move that character to the back. So if you can't get to them, but if they're in the back, they still taking another wound. So he could put a lot of wounds on zombie, and he could just slow down attacks as well, even if there ain't no zombie. So he's a lot better than what I thought when he was released, but he put in a lot of work. And finally, Ganymede, he's just a good 5/1 on 3. Team attacker with things. So if I need clearing thing, I do have red. I don't think I usually use the power, but it sometimes come in handy if you don't want to take the stun back with only your 1 defense. My 4 drop, I had Seahawk. So even though she's listed at 4 drop, most times she's gonna be a 3 drop since the chosen by things. You pay 1 less for her things on your side. So the only time she is a 4 drop is when thing is out the country. And she also have a green where she could get +5 and don't get stunned. So I got greens for that. And then I had Praetor, Harold Galactus. I pay no attention to that, but a fight blocker, 2 health, and then he got to pass the mic. When an evil character appears on your side, put 2 counters on it, and it becomes good until it leave play. So for my zombie, for Pace Pop Peach, just throwing counters on them. And then once I get to my 7 drop, we'll see shortly. Then Terax can make them double up, and I can move them around as I see fit. 5 drops, just 2 things. In the zombie format, if you get into 5, the game is going long. But again, not seeing many Doctor Doom support characters, so she's usually pretty safe from that first power, and then being able to swing at 18 could usually hit most things. So paying the green, getting up to 18. Also, again, team attacker with thing. 6 drop a red shift. Again, no, I don't want Galactus or Herald. Don't make a difference. But Cosmic Combat Master is a great. He hit the table. They can't play parts with. They have to. He becomes a target. So if he's a target, that means my main is not a target. And you won't be no surprise. Only power ups is the only surprises you really have to worry about, or some like out the wall, like the equipment for Frightful, them alert guns or whatever they call it. I do not know the name. I haven't played them much yet. And finally, my 7 drop is Terax again. To clear counters off my enemies, or just to move my 10 counters around. He just moved counters around, so he really there for the counter. Having flight just in case I need to put thing in the bag because. So sometimes what happens, thing may get the virus in the beginning, but once he leave the country and come back, he loses it. That would make him so good in this format, I think. And then my plot twist, I won 4 Fantastic Four, 4 No Brains, No Problem. So Fantastic could be an offensive or defensive plot twist, and No Brains, No Problem. It got me a good stunt even in the range combat. So once I kind of go over the playback, I got a short playback thing, and I'm gonna try to explain the rest. So here we go. So since I didn't record a game, I try to give you our playback. So I run a roll. He ended up playing Cloak and Dagger, which I was surprised to see. So I mean, obviously, if you don't know much about Cloak and Dagger, the role was super important. I run the role. So of course he staggered his Cloak and Dagger. So on turn one, I sent Stiltman with given to the home, not given to the home. That should be no brains, no problem. Well, but Stiltman with the plot twist, and I was able to stun Cloak. Cloak couldn't hit me back with the pump from the plot twist. So now Cloak was on the first wound and had the virus. So turn two, Cloak went into So the first mistake I made on turn one, I probably should have sent Thing. So I should have gambled on Stiltman taking down Cloak. I could have brought Thing to the front and traded with Dagger. Was what kept her getting from XP, but I didn't do that. Once I realized it was too late because I had Thing in the back row because I was more hungry for the XP than anything. So on turn two, he swung in the Stiltman, which got me XP. And then Dagger now with the +1 counter on her from experience were able to shoot Thing, and now I can't even stun her because he now got the +1 on her. So turn three, I got the Angel, so we team attack with Angel and Stiltman to Cloak to put that second wound on him. He took out Stiltman in the process. So turn four, Dagger got another counter. So now Cloak and he recruited Deathlock. So Cloak and Deathlock oh yeah, Cloak and Deathlock and Dagger. Oh, why did I got Dagger on here? I don't know why I had Dagger on here. Maybe I figure it out later. So Cloak and no, yeah. So that what happened. Cloak and Deathlock went into Angel, and then Dagger went into the Thing, giving me my second wound. And he also paid the Deathlock power to make Zombie Angel friendly. So on turn five, I got Zombie Hawkeye, so I got my full zombie pack. It was always a good deal. He was able to put a wound on Cloak, and then Deathlock just went into Thing. Turn six, he tried to use Dagger to shoot Hawkeye, but I had No Brains, No Problem to pump Hawkeye, so it was able to stun the 7. Well, he had 3 counters on Dagger, so that 7 attack, I think maybe 5 defense, but whatever it was, were able to get the trade. Was that a trade? Yeah, we're able to get the trade, and I was able to get Dagger back, and then Cloak and Deathlock went into Thing with Ikado Thing, and then turn 7, Hawkeye. He played Doc Connor. Yeah, he played Doc Connor, so I sent Hawkeye into Doc Connor's. I put Granemy out that ended up KOing Cloak, and then that also leveled the Thing. So the rest of the game he was just down to Dagger, who had 1 room. I got Pace Pop Pete out a turn after this. I was able to because after I hit Doc Connor, that he turned into the Lizard. So the first turn I shot with Pace Pop Pete to keep the Lizard in place. I was able to get to a Dagger. So by the end of the game, Dagger never leveled. I was able to beat her. I mean, KO her. Thing came back in, got his counters on him, and he never got no Sonic Gun that ever cleared the counters from Thing. A couple Pace Pop Priests to freeze him. And he tried to attack one of my characters. I paid the red and got him with Thing. It was just there was a few mistakes on both sides, but in the end, I was able to get both of them MC before they could level. Okay, so let's finish this up. Moving along. So just a recap of what happened. So this is a result from week 1. So as you can see, Fern beat PJ, Ralph E beat Rollin, Oz took Tevin. Boy, that's a lot of Buckeye losses right there, 3 in a row. Well, here go 4. Oz beat Rob, Miss beat Scott. That's all Buckeye people taking L's together, the team, huh? So James beat Nick. Earl got there. Go Buckeye winning. Earl again. Francisco. Chris lost to Jason. Another Buckeye loss. There's a lot of Buckeyes in this event. Adam beat Kayla. I beat Ty, so that's a Buckeye win. Dawson got Jamil, and Eric beat Kendall. So do you see the round 3 matchup? With I would be playing Eric. Our game gonna be scheduled. If I'm recording this, well, actually Thursday morning, 2 o'clock in the morning. So in about 9 hours at 11 a.m., I'm scheduled to play Eric, and we're gonna be in the mantle. What the mantle with that format? You gotta have two MC that both share a mantle, so that should be an interesting play. Here go the standings. Eric is actually also 1-1, but he like in 18th place, so there's 6-2 in those. 12 1-1s, and then 6 zeros and 1. But I think he like 18 seed. Well, seed really don't really matter too much at this point. It won't matter closer to the end of the event. So but yeah, so I will have Eric. Haven't played him before or interacted with him, I think, at all. So interesting game. There are only a few combo for the Mano theme, but there are many different ways you could play them. So yeah, so once we get the results, I have that deck profile. I definitely plan on recording that game this time. I don't want to make that mistake again. So at this point, thanks for listening. If you have, okay, also if you haven't heard, there'll be a high regional coming up. There's gonna be more information for that. Oklahoma regional coming up before that, and we got our last week of the Buckeye League, and then we're gonna start the yearly event. You're gonna do me like that, where you play with two MCs. So a lot of things on the horizon. But again, thanks for listening, and we'll be back again next week.